Hey friends, my name is Danielle. Thank you for moving with me again. Today's session is based really on the upper part of our back and our spine, as well as our shoulders. I want you to think about when you have a jar and you're trying to open it. When you try to open a jar and you can't open it, you'll find you intuitively want to just move it forward and back, and these little rotational movements will actually just help you eventually open that jar and take the lid off. It's kind of like that when you move both your spine and your shoulders. They are both joints that turn and twist, and the more that you can get them to do that, the more freedom you will feel to be able to go in any direction you want. So a lot of the movements today are based on rotation. And just really work with how it feels. If you get to an edge of a twist or a rotation that feels a little bit sticky, take a pause there. Just notice where those angles are, because as you start to nurture yourself through them, they will feel so much better. We're going to start to standing up. So face the side, nice and parallel with your feet on your mat. Carry your arms up overhead. We're just going to get some circulation into our arms. Pull your elbows down really close to your sides, and then you're going to take a little swing all the way around and squeeze your glutes as you take your arms behind your head. Do it again. So slide your arms back, a little swing to stand up. And you're just trying to feel the arms slice through the air. You can use a little bit of momentum with it, but almost like you're on a ski erg. It's a big pull back and a big squeeze up. We're going to do 4 more. All the way up. Try to find at the top you're in hollow body, so your ribs squeeze in and your glutes switch on. You've got 2 more. Make this your last one. All the way through. You're going to hold at the top, really engage your glutes, engage your ribs down, and just do nice little circles with your arms. Notice if one arm feels a little different than the other. I want you to feel like your palms face each other and then flip around as they go back. Face each other and then flip around. So there's this big rotation through your arms. We're just here for another 4. For 3. 2 more. And last one. From here, take your hands behind your head, tuck your chin in and start to roll all the way down your spine. You're going to walk yourself out to a downward dog, so get your hips high and your chest low. We're going to take a little pull through towards an upward dog. Bend your elbows off to the side like you're going to do a press up, then squeeze your elbows in, roll through, and use an inhale to drive your chest up. You're keeping your toes tucked and pulling your chest through. Then push back to downward dog. We're going to do that 4 more times. So send your elbows out, your head goes towards your thumbs, squeeze them in to push up, and downward dog, lift back. Couple more like this. You don't have to go low, or you can really dip your head to the floor. We're just getting your shoulder blades to slide across your back. Getting a little bit of circulation and warmth through the arm lines, through the shoulder lines. You have 2 more. All the way through. And make this your last one. From here, land your knees. You're going to come up to a kneeling position, and if you have a strap, I'd like you to grab it now. You can also use a towel or even a stick, anything that feels like you can pull against it. You're going to take the arms over your head and just check that you've got a little bit of movement forward and back. We're actually going to do this on our knees, so squeeze your glutes up. You can keep your toes tucked so there's some engagement through the backs of your legs. Draw your glutes forward and ribs down, and then start to circle the arms, just half circles behind you. Like we did when we were standing up, you're feeling your palms face away from each other and then turn to face each other. This little half rotation to start spiraling through your shoulder girdle. This is something called scapulohumeral rotation. It's just really important your shoulder blades and your arms learn to work with each other. If it's starting to feel a little bit easier, walk your hands in a bit more just to make the stretch a little more effective. You should feel a long stretch line through the front of your arm and then feeding into the front of your chest. This is called your front line. We're going to keep that reach going for another 4. We're taking a hold in 3. Keep that little bit of engagement through your glutes in your core so your spine is quite still. The next time you hold back, it's going to be a hold, so take the arms back. Try to pull the strap a little bit stronger and draw your ribs down. Keep your breath strong. We're just here for 3, for 2, and then release, come all the way forward. We're doing exactly the same thing, but with the strap facing the other way. So feed the strap behind you, slide it so your palms are facing forward, and then hold onto it. The same thing, engage your ribs down to your body, engage your glutes forward, and take these little dislocates forward. With this one, you'll find your hands turn out, and then they flip to go forward. You may feel you can take your arms in a little bit closer on this one. The closer your hands are, the more you'll have to keep it really strong. But I invite you to check that your elbows are not bending. So you're really keeping the focus through your shoulders. This is a nice one to do in front of a mirror as well, just to check you're not kind of compensating to one side, but you have an equal amount of space between both arms as you work. We're here for 2 more, and then we'll take a hold. So just nice little reaches up and back. And the next time you lift, go halfway, hold it there. Try to feel like your elbows squeeze in towards each other for this one, and try to pull the arms a little higher with your elbows squeezing in. Ribs down, hold it for 4, for 3, your last 2, and 1. Release all the way down. You can leave the strap at the front of your mat to use later. We're going to take this into a thread the needle. So start with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees a little wider than hip distance apart. Take the right arm all the way up. Really look over your shoulder. As you thread through, push the shoulder behind your left wrist and put your head down in front of the hand. We're going to rinse and repeat about 6 times. So breathe in to twist up, breathe out to feed through. Keeping a little bit of momentum. Inhale to come up. Exhale to feed through. Keep going for me. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to feed through. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to feed through. Your final time up. Make sure the shoulder goes behind the wrists. Your head goes in front of the hands. There is a ski slope through your back. And just hold. You want to feel the shoulders move down your back so there is space for your neck. And maybe feed this right hand even further. Hold it here if you want a little bit more. Take your free hand, reach it up and overhead, and do just little tiny rocks. Little tiny pivots, like you're trying to reach your right hand further forward and push the left fingertips into the floor. Let's take a hold. Your option 1 to hold is to just turn your head up a little more and hold. Option 2, lift your left knee. Allow yourself to twist a little bit deeper. Keep feeling the center of your body engaged and hold it for 1 more breath. If your knee is lifted, land it back down. Try to keep the twist for 1 more breath. And then reset, bring yourself up. I invite you to just take a little circle of your spine one way and then the other, just to free out any sticky spots that happened while you were in that twist. Just let it know that your spine can release both ways. Opposite way, your left arm is going towards the sky. Draw your ribs in. As you exhale, feed through. Really let your head drop. And again, inhale to twist up. Exhale to feed through. We're doing 6. You're focusing on the head going in front of your hand. So there is a long line for your spine to reach down rather than rounding in a shape. Really keep that extension. Just 2 more like this and we'll hold. Use your breath out to feed through. And your inhale to reach up. This is a hold. So your arm feeds through. Make sure your shoulder is behind the wrist and your hand goes in front. From your head there, you're going to rock up and just hold. If this feels enough, stay. If you want a little more, reach your right hand up and do little tiny pivots, little corkscrews. Think of that jar that you're trying to open. Just corkscrewing up and down for another 3, for 2, and we'll hold it here. Pivot your chest to the ceiling. Stay. If you want, reach the right knee up and look under a little further. You'll feel more of your back support on the ground so you can twist even deeper. Hold it for a moment. And then try to keep the twist as you land your knee. If you have lifted it, we're staying for 1 more breath. And when you're ready, release. Just bring yourself up. Again, little circles of your spine. Imagine your back is in a tumble dryer and you're trying to move all the way around one way. And then maybe you reverse the circle all the way around the other. Just 1 or 2 more. There's no right or wrong with this. It's just a movement to rinse out through your spine, to encourage a little bit more space through it. From here, you're coming all the way into upward dog, so walk your hands a little further forward. Let your hips drop and pull your shoulder blades down your back. I really want you to think of your elbows reaching behind each other, and imagine there was a pencil between your shoulder blades. Try to squeeze it down. Take a breath. From here, draw your ribs in. Find plank, and we're going to face the side. This is a big side plank, so draw the bottom edge of your body in and look up towards the top hand. Hold it for a moment, then pull your right leg in. You're stepping it forward. This is something called pyramid pose or fallen triangle. Let your hip go overhead. Let your arm really reach for this big stretch. Then to reset, you send your hand on the floor and step back to plank. Squeeze your glutes forward, and as your elbows drag back, you'll find this upward dog shape. You can untuck your toes or keep them tucked, but hold it for a breath, and we'll do the other side. So your ribs pull in, find that strong hollow body first, then drop to the side so the knife edges of your feet land down. Take the right arm towards the ceiling, and then squeeze the left leg through. You're kicking it out to push your hips higher, and take that big side stretch all the way up and over, just for a breath. Let's do a couple more per side. So find yourself in plank. Let your hips drop, your shoulders squeeze together. All the way back up through your hollow body. Turn to face the side, the ribs engage, and your arm lifts up. Like the first time, you're squeezing your right leg through. Put the foot on the ground, and take your hip a little higher to stretch. Just a breath. Rinse and repeat on the other side. So pull yourself back through your hollow body. Let your hips drop, let your chest feed through. Then draw yourself up for side two. You're finding side plank first. Really lift the hips. Then pull the left leg through and forward. As your hip goes up, take your arm overhead. Feel this bottom shoulder stay away from your ear. And once more per side. Back to your plank. Find your up dog, shoulders squeeze together. From your hollow body, turn to the side, really pivot, and then pull the right leg through. You're squeezing it all the way forward. Take your hips up a little higher and stretch. Notice the bottom shoulder is still pulling down. Back to your plank. Find your hollow body, really draw in your abs. And last time, up dog. Hollow body. Take it to side plank. Step through with your left foot. You can always use your hand if you need to. Then push your hips up more and take the arm overhead. Coming all the way down. We're going to lie on our front. So step yourself to plank. Let your hips sink down and then let your chest pull all the way. Little ripples. I want you to keep your hands quite close to your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back and down. Just do that a few times. You can even close your eyes to really engage with the sensation of not just your arms moving, but your shoulder blades squeezing down your back. Notice that as you do this, you will feel your chest start to lift a little higher, quite naturally. And then lean into that. So as you pull your shoulder blades back, let yourself lift. And then pull yourself down. Just a couple more like this. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Let yourself lift. And lower back down. To keep your lower back safe, really squeeze your butt. Engage your glutes as you come up. And then they can relax as you lower down. We're going to start taking some holds. So roll your shoulders back. Come up as high as it feels good. And then come halfway down. You're really feeling like you could drag your chest over the edge of your mat. See if you can slide your hands back. Keep your chest off the floor. And your arms are going to circle all the way forward. Nice and slow. Slide your hands back to your shoulders. We'll do it 3 more times. So shoulders roll back. Take a lift. Come up really high. Sometimes it's nice to take a little twist at the top. Then find center. You're coming halfway down. Keep that engagement. Slide your elbows towards each other and take your hands off the floor. Your arms go all the way up towards your ears. Try to reach them in a straight line. Then slide them under twice more. Shoulders roll back, lift up. As you pull down, find that point where you think you can hold without your hands. Squeeze together back and all the way up. Hands go down. Last time, roll the shoulders back. Maybe you stay a little higher with your chest for your last one. So feeding forward, take your hands off and go all the way around. Hands come down. Take a moment in child's pose. So sink your hips all the way back. Maybe you want a little twist, a little corkscrew of your spine from edge to edge. Just kind of feel what that's like. Sometimes it's nice to tuck your hips under and then release them a few times to just stretch through your lower back. We don't do a lot to engage the muscles across our back in comparison to how much we engage the muscles across our front. So it's natural for them to get tired quite easily. And to just help it learn to squeeze better, it's nice to give it little movements in between to just stretch it out. I'm going to do one more thing on our front. Move yourself all the way forward so your hips land again. Grab your strap, and you're taking it overhead. So you can keep your head really close to the floor. I'm going to keep my head up just so I can speak to you. But I want you to feel like your belly button is gently drawing away from the ground. Rather than completely relaxed, there is a sense of engagement through the body so the arms can really feel supported. You're going to take the arms up and overhead, kind of like the dislocates we did, but now using an elbow pull down. So chin tucks in. Take your arms back to a point that you feel a stretch, then bend the elbows and try to pull them behind your back. As you do, get a little higher, hold, and then release all the way down. You can do that a few more times. And your goal is to keep the strap away from your head rather than letting it rest. It's like someone is holding your elbows back and pulling your wrists back behind you. So when you're ready, take your shoulders, roll them back into their sockets, lift a little, and take your arms up. As you pull the elbows behind your head, start to lift. Hold it there. Try to move your arms further, and then relax, take it down. 3 more times. Up, pull back. As you pull, get a little higher, pull the strap apart, and release. Your last 2. Take it up. As you bend the arms, pull your chest up. And your last one. Lift it up, arms go back. As you bend the elbows, let the shoulder blades lift your chest, hold, and release. You can move the strap off to the side again. Take yourself back onto your hands and your knees. Again, little ripple of your spine. This time staying a little higher on your knees. Let your chest lift up and let it close off. Just kind of scoop and release. Your chest feeds through, and then you pull it back. Let's do it just twice more. Chest feeds through, and drag it back. Last time. From here, we're going to take a little stretch of our hip flexors in conjunction with our chest. So step your right foot forward, and you're on your left knee. I'd like you to put one hand across your rib cage, the other across your back, and just line everything up so your ribs pull down and your hips stack underneath your chest. From that stretch, lean over to face the right a little so you feel a bit of stretch to the side. Carry your left arm over for a really long stretch. The stretch time should be all the way from your shoulder to your hip. Just hold for a second, take a breath. And then you're going to circle the hand around. See if you can reach for the foot. If it's not quite there, you can curl the toes under. Try to drive your hips even further forward and take a lift. We're going to do that a couple more times. So draw yourself up. Use your arms to align. Once everything is connected and you feel the stretch in your hip, lean over to the side, maybe a bit further. Big circle back, lift your chest. You can push your hips through. And again, hands across your back and your front. Close everything off. Your left arm stretches over. And then lean back. 2 more, ribs down. Keep feeling like maybe you can lean a bit further. All the way around. Pull yourself up. Last one, squeeze in. Up and over. Circle back. Lean away. If your hand finds your heel, push the hips forward. Bring yourself all the way up. Just switch sides for me. Nothing fancy. So your right knee goes back. Your left foot comes flat. Again, use your arms to align. So you're stacking head over shoulders over hips. Everything pulls together. Then take your right arm up and I'll take a big long side stretch. Hold it for a second. Then circle the right hand back. Find your heel and lean into a little bit more of a stretch. Draw yourself up. Do it again. Ribs come down. Right hand goes up. Use your exhale to lean over into the stretch. As you circle the arm, if you don't quite touch the heel, that's fine. Just imagine you're reaching down so your chest lifts up over your arm. Couple more. Draw your ribs down. Inhale up. Use your exhale to stretch. Circle back. You can reach your hand for your heel, maybe push a little further forward. And draw yourself up. Ribs down, right arm up. Exhale over. Up and over. Find your spiral. You can hold or reach for your heel. Our final one, right arm up. Exhale over. Big circle. Lean back. Take a moment just to hold. Feel the shoulders move back and towards each other. And then pull yourself all the way back. We're going to come onto both knees. Clasp your hands behind you. You can interlace them. And we're going to get our spine to both arch and round from this position. So get your knees a bit wider. Interlace your hands. Think of punching the knuckles towards the floor and really lift your chest up. Then go into reverse by pulling your rib cage in, tucking your chin in, and letting your arms go overhead. You can be just here. To make it a little bit deeper, push your knuckles into the floor, lift your chest, really engage your shoulders, then start to drive your hips up. As you come down, take your chin in, roll yourself through. Nothing rushed, just kind of feeling your way either here or here. All the way back, all the way over. Let's do 3 more together. Big lift up. Draw it in. Up and over. Last 2, I'm really clasping my hands as I go back. So whether I'm here or I'm up here, I'm pressing my palms in. All the way up and over. Last one is going to be a little hold. Squeeze your shoulders, lift your chest. I'm really drawing my belly button up towards my spine, so even though I'm in a bit of an arc, the pelvic floor is supporting me. If you want to go further, press your knuckles into the floor, start to drive your hips up, maybe lift your chest. If you're lifting your chest up, think of pushing your hips over your knees, so the stretch goes down the front of your chest line. Take just one last breath, make sure your neck still feels free. As you pull yourself in, your arms are going overhead. Tuck your chin in, you can stay, or you can take little drops from side to side. You can rest your head all the way down. I'm going to keep it just off the ground so I can keep speaking to you. But if you like, really tuck your chin in and let yourself have that deep stretch. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Then draw yourself up. You're going to spin your legs around to face the front. We're doing reverse tabletop with some little shoulder rolls. So fingertips face back behind you. If it's uncomfortable for your wrists to be like this, they can also be out. But see if you can work from here. Pull your shoulder blades together, really lift the chest. And I want to think of my chest going higher than my knees. Then let everything close down. Little arch, squeeze the shoulders. Little release. Let's add in our hips. Take your feet a little bit wider. As you squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your hips up. You can come up onto your toes if you like. Try to draw your ribs down. And as you come back, really squeeze as if you could make the tips of your shoulders touch each other at the front. If you want to go further, as you lift up, rock a tiny bit further forward so your knees go past your toes. As you go back, pull your belly button in and let your hips go through your arms. I'm going to do about 4 more times so you can stay here. If you want to go further, try to rock your knees towards the floor. As you go back, pull your hips through. We're just kind of moving in and out from this shape. The thing that stretches is your shoulder line, but your hips are helping the drive as well. We're going to take 2 holds after this next round. Your last time, as you come forward, hold it here. Keep your heels high. Imagine your hips needed to be higher than your knees. If you want to go further, start to send your knees forward. If they come all the way towards the ground, stay and feel like you could pull your shoulder blades down your back just a little more. We're going to hold for 3. Keep the squeeze of your hands. For 2. And then reverse. Draw yourself in. You can hold here. Just squeeze your shoulders together. You can hold here, or you can try to push your arms straight and just be. Think head in, hips up for 3. For 2. And then come all the way down. We're going to take this towards a little pigeon stretch. Fold your right shin to face the short edge of your mat. Take your left shin behind you. Just kind of get comfy. Take a little rock forward and back here. And we're going to send our chest towards our left foot. So the angle behind your right knee is important. Try to keep it a little bit more open today. And your weight is in the right hip, and you're dropping some into your left. As you pull your chest forward, imagine it could go past your toes. And just stay for a second. If this is feeling okay, you can start to straighten the left leg more, but prioritize the stretch in the right leg and make sure your knee feels really good as well. If you're going all the way over and you're finding this hold, you're still rocking your weight towards the right foot, but try to feel a little more stretch by leaning across. If you want to take a bit more of an active hold, lift up your back knee, try to find a little float, and then take your arms off. I'm imagining I'm squeezing my legs together, and we're just going to hold for 3. You can also do it with your knee down. For 2. And let's take a long hold. Allow your hips to settle. Pull your chest over so it's over your toes and you can stay quite high. Or you can get a little lower. If you're getting a little lower, maybe it's nice to put your elbows down. Think of sending your chest out. Or you can put your hands down and send your chin towards your hands rather than your forehead, just so your chest stays open. It's nice to close your eyes as well here. So you take away the sense of sight and you allow your other senses to be a little bit more clear, to give you a little more feedback, just the feedback from your hips, the feedback from the sensations just underneath your skin, the feedback from your breath. Take one more breath. And then draw yourself all the way up. We'll just turn around to face the other side. So come up to your heels, flip yourself around so the left shin is forward and your right foot is folded back again. Remember that the angle of the front leg is important today. So check that you can drop your hips here. You're tipping your body over towards the left foot. You can stay quite high here. You feel quite a good stretch just staying in this place, even though it doesn't look very deep, because I'm trying to roll my hips forward. If you want to take it deeper, start to reach your leg back and you can hold it here. If you're taking a little balance and leaning forward, really try to tip your weight forward, squeeze the legs towards each other and just hold it there. I'm trying to actually lift up a little higher and that's going to keep me in my stretch. Let's stay for 3. Again, you can do this with your knee down, and as you get stronger, lift the knee. For 2. On 1, release. Turn your body a little further over the toes and stay either here with your shoulders down, chest up, or a little lower with your chest still going over your toes. If you want to go all the way down, try to put your chin on your hands rather than your forehead. And let's stay for a couple breaths. Again, close your eyes. Make the rhythm of your breath more important to you. Can you make your exhale just a little longer? Can you start to stimulate that reset response, that recovery response, what they call your parasympathetic nervous system? Whenever your next exhale is done, lift yourself up. Swing yourself all the way around so you face the front. You're going to roll all the way down to the floor. So interlace your hands, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, close your eyes and layer your back down just bone by bone, nice and slow. Once you feed yourself all the way to the ground, you're pulling your right knee in and just allowing yourself to twist over to the side. Really pull your ribs down and then look over. If your knee is quite high, just shift it down lower than your belly button and feel your shoulders move away. It's nice to put your hand on your rib cage as well so you kind of feel the flow of your breath under your fingers. Take just one breath in, one breath out, and change sides. Pull your left knee into your chest. You're rolling onto your right hip as you twist. Your knee can be off the floor, but if it feels really high and your shoulder is off the floor, move your knee down and then take the arm to the floor. Close your eyes again, just one breath in and one breath out. Come back to center. You're going to bring yourself up, so hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a little rock up and down until you rock all the way up. Turn to face the front with your eyes still closed so you feel more than you see. Give your shoulders a roll back. Just maybe notice there's a little bit more freedom in them. And then with your eyes closed, let your head roll from side to side. Take out any stickiness just by almost massaging your neck across the edges of your shoulders. From here, with your eyes closed, take a big breath in and breathe out through your mouth. One more time in. And let everything go. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon.